Hello world, it's Neon Faith here from Los Angeles. Let me tell you a story. You ever see someone do something and it just clicks and then totally short circuits your brain? Yeah, one of those. I just turned 13 years old right on December 22, which is my birthday. We were on vacation now for Christmas, so we're off school, and I was picked up by my Uncle Joey to get to Cousin Mike's house. Cousin Mike wanted to hang out with me because he knows it's my birthday. Cousin Mike, he was the cool cousin, the one who became a musical spirit guide, along with my brother, introducing me the Holy Trinity basically synth pop, punk, and new wave. Mike and my brother. I'm so happy to have them in my life because they were two musical gurus that I had, and they were a huge influence in my musical taste. So we get to Walnut, California. Perfect place to own a house, perfect place to raise a family. Good schools, beautiful homes by the hills, by the golf course. My cousin Mike snagged me early for some pre birthday madness hangout. Good call because in 2 days, that house would be a full blown madhouse of relatives, mountains of Filipino food, and of course karaoke. May God have mercy on our souls. He looks at me. Ready to hang out with Kim? We're going to be listening to some imports. The Cure. The Cure was playing in a stereo in between days. It was loud. And I said, imports? Yes, imports. Records made from England or Germany or abroad, he explains. My mind was officially blown. I never heard of them. But count me in. So there we are walking through the neighborhood. Cold December night. Christmas lights twinkling like crazy on every lawn. And yeah, it's my birthday. I'm feeling pretty great. We finally got to Kim's house, just a few blocks. Mike knocks on the door. Kim opens it. Kim is that cool friend who got this Mona Lisa smile. Like he just heard this funniest joke in the world and he's not telling. That look. Instantly, when I walked in the house, I'm hit with the glorious aroma of noodles. Like the entire house is one giant simmering bowl of ramen. It's my birthday and we haven't even had dinner yet. I'm hungry. Anyway, we go in, said hi to his parents, Kim's parents. Kim walks into his room, or walks us into his room, and we walked in. It's organized chaos. A true teenage wonderland. Posters plastered everywhere in his room. The Smiths, Depeche Mode, The Cure, Susie and the Banshees, New Order posters all over. And then I noticed something cool. There it was, gleaming by his window, a keyboard. I'm trying to be cool here. I said, "Hey Kim, you play piano? What is this?" Kim winked at me and turned on the keyboard, a Casio keyboard. He starts playing "Just Can't Get Enough" riffs by Depeche Mode. Perfect, flawlessly. I couldn't believe it. My brain, it didn't just explode. It did a full-on fireworks display. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I practically saw glitter. I couldn't believe it. This was a song, the same one my brother had introduced me to a year and a half earlier, blasting it on the way to Indio to pick up my dad's Commodore computer, Commodore 64. I mean, Kim just kept on going, ripping through riffs like new life. Just can't get enough. Everything counts. And the keyboard? It was a Casio. A Casio? In my 13-year-old mind, I said to myself, these were the secret weapons of all the pros I listened to. That very second, I knew I wasn't just going to be in a synth band. I am going to be joining or assembling a synth band. I just didn't know how. I am now 13 years old. He then shows off his treasure of vinyls, import picture discs. Picture discs. For those of you who don't know what that is, those are vinyl with the band's photo pressed right onto vinyl. It's pretty cool. We went ages dissecting it and talking about bands and bands of in the new wave genre. It was so exciting. We spoke about Love and Rockets, The Cure, a lot of New Order talk, of course, Depeche because they were really hot at that time. After that Mind Mini concert, Mike and I leave. We were walking back home under Christmas lights. I am quiet. Mike says, "Pretty cool, huh?" He says. Then he adds, almost as an afterthought, "Yeah, we are really into this whole new wave fashion thing too. And the music. By the way, you've been super quiet the last hour. You okay?" I'm not on this planet anymore by this time when he was talking to me. I'm in a different planet because my brain is just humming with one thought. I need one of those keyboards. Of course, I didn't tell cousin Mike that. I managed to say, "Mike, he's like the coolest dude I've ever met. He's exactly like you. The ultimate cool new waver at the age of 15. And all these bands we were talking about, the Smiths, Depeche Mode, New Order, The Cure, the sound, man, the sound. You and my brother. Huge influence," I told him that. Now, you gotta understand, I wasn't really into the whole Nintendo video game craze at my age. People were playing that at my age. I wasn't into it. I was a little bit different. My thing was listening to records and listening to music, just sitting there, absorbing the music, studying it. Oh, I also couldn't afford records, but cousin Mike would always give me recorded tapes of music that's hip at that time. Love and Rockets, Sinead O'Connor, Echo and the Bunnymen, those. Especially this new wave synthesizer left field genre, whatever you want to call it. I never even heard of the word synth pop at that time yet. I'm calling it now, so it illustrates my point. In my humble new 13-year-old opinion, if you were into that music, you were instantly cool in my world. Meaning you got it, you understand. Case closed. My opinion, of course, my opinion. The obsession begins. I didn't sleep that night. I slept in his room. I slept on the floor. I didn't sleep that night on my birthday. The obsession begins. My head was just on a loop. I see Kim playing the keyboard, the Casio keyboard, over and over and over, and I want one. I'm so obsessed. By morning, I made myself a promise. I was getting one of those. But where? Where? Super flashlighting. Then, like a bolt of lightning, it hit me. I've seen those before. RadioShack. Yes, I immediately mapped out my pilgrimage from LA, from where I live in downtown, all the way to West Los Angeles as soon as the new year hits because December 22, the following week is the new year. I couldn't wait for the new year to hit. So the first Saturday of that year, the new year, I couldn't wait to go to the Beverly Center. To go to the second floor of the Beverly Center and go to the electronic shop called Radio Shack. They had a Radio Shack on the second floor. They had they had those keyboards. My destiny awaited. Now, I can hear some of you out there cringing and probably laughing. Radio Shack? You gasped? You're supposed to go to Guitar Center for the real gear. And to that I say, hey, cut me some slack, man. I was alone in this gear quest, okay? I was only 13. We had no Google. We had no YouTube. You were basically on your own, a lone wolf on a mission for beats. So yeah, Radio Shack it was. That's the best I could do. Besides, I had no connection. Again, at that time, if you're going to do this, you had no information and you have to play detective. Now it's January. New Year, back to school, teenage angst, music, girls, homework, homework, girls, music. That's basically my life. The first Saturday of the year, I head to the Beverly Center in West Hollywood. I took bus 14 to get up there because I knew on the second floor they had a Radio Shack. Sitting there, I'm on bus 14. I felt independent. Nobody was with me. I'm alone and excited. I step off the bus like a pilgrim at a holy site. RadioShack was the Mecca gear. To me, again, let me repeat that. RadioShack was the Mecca for gear. To me, I thought. Again, cut me some slack. I'm 13 here, peoples. I'm just trying to figure this out all myself. Okay? We had no information at that time. RadioShack is this. RadioShack is an electronics store. You need a capacitor, cable, a stereo. You went to RadioShack. And why and when I finally got there, man, I'd spent hours, literally hours, demoing keyboards, cycling through presets. Oh wow, one of the keyboards even has a bossa nova preset. Ew. Anyway, back to the good stuff. Pet Shop Boys, OMD, Depeche. I'd practice every single riff I could remember in my head every Saturday from January right through July. I made the pilgrimage by myself, sometimes even 2 weeks, but let's be real, it was every Saturday. But those 7 months were crucial. That's where I learned to use my right hand to play simple melodic riffs. My left hand, nah, too complicated. I also noticed someone at the store even said, "Oh, you're developing your relative pitch." No clue. No clue what that meant, but hey, it sounded cool and fancy. The staff, bless their hearts, mostly left me alone. Just a polite, need any help occasionally. 7 months later, it is now July. It is hot and dry in Los Angeles. Like fry an egg on the sidewalk and see. Hot. My brother takes me out for a ride. He says he wants to buy one of those pull-out radios. So off we went to, yep, Radio Shack, The Good Guys, Circuit City. We went around LA. He was on a hunt for an Alpine or blah punked pull-out stereo for his car. He was into that. And when we got to the store called the Circuit City, I told my brother, "Hey, let me check out these keyboards. I'll be on this section." I remember they had Kawai, Techniques, Yamaha, Casio, and these were something new that I did not see at Radio Shack. This place had way more keyboards than Radio Shack. He came back to me. "All right, let's go. I'm getting this Kenwood pull-out radio." He saw me still playing, demoing the presets, but I'm now using the Techniques keyboard. It looks pretty and sounded so good. 2 speakers, but they were loud. My brother said, "Okay, let's see. Play." I played him. He was kind of shocked. I saw his face, and he said something like, "You can play that? Impressive, man." Quietly. He then said, "Let's go home." So we went home. And as we were driving, he spots a pawn shop off of Beverly Boulevard in Fairfax, somewhere around that area. He just pulled over and parked. We went inside. I did not know what he was looking for. We went inside, and it inside this pawn shop, it was equipment after equipment of old stuff: amps, guitars, mixers, speakers, old keyboards, rings, wedding rings. He sees this keyboard on the wall, and it's called the PSR3 by Yamaha. It was $35. He told me, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this for you so you don't have to go to Beverly Center anymore." Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. This PSR3 keyboard was in okay condition, but I was just so grateful my brother was that kind to me. I played it at home that night. Oh my god, the sound was oof. But I wasn't going to complain. It was a gift. And besides, I could now practice at home daily. No need to go to that store anymore. No need to take a pilgrimage taking the 14 bus to the Beverly Center. By the way, there were only three or two presets on that PSR that I used mostly to play riffs. Oh, and that's the keyboard I learned how to play the whole Everything Counts tune by Depeche. It's true. I do remember carrying the PSR 3 that my brother bought me holding it like the Holy Grail. I was so grateful to my brother. Even though it wasn't like the ones at RadioShack, the important thing for me was I got to play my favorite band, like The Cure, and jam on top of it while I played the tape. That's how I learned. For the rest of that summer, all the way to Christmas again, I'm glued to the PSR 3. After school, practice. Weekends, practice. After finishing my homework, of course, I am now learning to play Everything Counts by Depeche Mode. And now I noticed something unique. I'm now creating my own riffs. Just three notes, four notes, simple but magical. And I do still to this day stick to three to four notes. Now, fast forward, it's Christmas time again, which means it's my birthday again. I'll be turning 14 on December 22. On Thanksgiving weekend, my mom looks at me funny. I can see you are committed to playing that little piano your brother bought you. And I, and I remember you going to Radio Shack earlier this year for months and months. I can see that you're really into this. By the way, did you do your homework? Yes, Mom. A few weeks later, sure enough, it's that time again. Christmas week, birthday week. The thing about me, I don't open my gift on my birthday, but on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, depending on where the festivities are. Now I'm 14. Yay! I also have a new girlfriend every 2 weeks. Fortunately, we are now at my sister's house to celebrate in the valley, Encino City. Once it was my turn to open up my gift, which was a big box, I truly didn't know what it was, and I didn't expect it. That I got this big box, I didn't even see it. I opened it when it was my turn, so people can see it. That's how we did it. And I see when I was opening it, it's a Yamaha PSR 300 keyboard. This is my birthday gift and Christmas gift from my mom and my dad. Hey, I did well at school for them. Good grades. I did ditch for a day, but shh. I almost got caught and I never did it again. If Dad would have found out, I'm sure I would have gotten the belt. So I never did it again. My mom says, I know you've been going to Radio Shack all year and you've been playing your brother's keyboard. I know how much you want this, and here's your new piano. I see how much you want this, and your brother got you a small piano, so here's your bigger piano. I said, Mom, it's a keyboard. I'm still stunned. I mean, for the whole year, this is all I wanted, right? Because just 1 year before, I was at Kim's house, him playing his Casio, and now it's my birthday, and I have a PSR 300 keyboard. This is exactly 1 year after I met Kim. I can't believe it. I can't believe I have one now. I don't know what it sounds like yet, but I'm grateful. My dream of being in a synth band is becoming more real and real. I thank my mom and my dad for that. You see, if you do good at school for my mom and my dad, you get perks like this. Although I think that's the only perks that I got. Hey, wait a minute here. I think I got ripped off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love my dad. I love my mom and my dad. Thank you so much. But okay, so now it's New Year's Eve. A few days later, and for New Year's Eve, I usually just stay home. I don't even wait for midnight to hit. I sleep early. But that evening, the family was just hanging out. I have some VHS tapes of music videos and concerts, and it's only 8 p.m., so let's go ahead and binge watch. I noticed something strange watching those videos. I saw music videos by A Flock of Seagulls, New Order, Erasure, and this videotape or VHS tape called Live from Hamburg by Depeche Mode, live in Germany. And I noticed something very strange. I said to myself, wait a minute, how come these instruments I see don't have speakers on them? And they have different names like Moog, or Moog, Roland, Emulator 2. Some have knobs or sliders, but they have no speakers in them. What? How do you get a sound out of that? It has no speakers. I'd rewind, play, rewind, play, rewind, play, trying to be a detective here. I'm confused because I then realized the keyboards I've been practicing on for that whole year, and even the keyboard my mom and my dad gave me, are not what the pros use. I am now confused and disappointed, but let me not be ungrateful here. I said to myself, at least I can practice with what I have. That night also there was this magazine called Teeny Bop Magazine, and it had the interview by Depeche. I read it and they mentioned the use of the synthesizer instrument. Synthesizer? I thought what I had were synthesizers. Oh my god, what I have is a home keyboard. Like for church playing or a person who wants to learn piano or organ. That's what it was. That's what I had. A home keyboard. If you play a chord, it plays backing music for you. Disco, Latin, bossa nova. Yes, cheese. But the presets of the PSR 300, I liked them. There was like 7 of them that I liked. That night, the radio, before I slept, the radio was on. I was listening to K Rock 106.7 Los Angeles radio station, which played the type of music that I listened to: new wave, synth pop, punk. It wasn't called alternative music yet. I heard a commercial because it was New Year's Eve. It said something like, come on down to Guitar Center to get the great deals on synthesizers, guitar amps, guitars, drum machines, yada, yada, yada. And then after listening to that, I said, you mean that's where the pro gear is? What? I didn't know. Again, guys, cut me some slack. I was only 13 here, and I'm alone in this journey. Oh my god, did I waste my time? But truly, I'm going to be grateful for the tools given to me. The good news is, I was able to develop my ear to play by ear. I had practiced a lot at the store and home. At least I have that. Anyway, the PSR 300 sounded great. I knew I felt that I could use that to join a band now or assemble a band, even though I didn't know how. But I know I just wanted to be in a band. Also, at that time, I'm hearing Roland Juno 60, also the DX7. Now I am 14. I'm now being exposed and learning more about professional gear brands. And yes, it was indeed overwhelming. And then I heard of this thing called the sampler. That's another story because that changed everything again. I mean, everything. Change of plans. So, what's the lesson? I want to say to you, the lesson is this: you don't have to just dream about making music anymore. I'm not saying you'll become the next hotshot producer or you'll be on top of the charts on Spotify. That's not the point. What I'm saying is this: make your music, make what you love, use it as your outlet. Some people play video games, right? Some people paint, some people garden. This is mine. This is my outlet, a stress reliever. Only you know your intentions. I cannot promise fame. I'm not promising that. Making music just because you love it is already worth it. Why? Because finishing a song you create from scratch, it gives a satisfaction I cannot explain. For me, it keeps me creative at my real job. It keeps me alive. For me, it gives me confidence, joy, self-esteem. I feel more grounded here at home. I'm a father. I have a daughter and a wife. I'm more sure of myself. But if you're anything like me, When you first finish that tune, it feels like something clicked inside. It feels so amazing. Not just because you made it, but because you finished it. I really want you to experience that. It's worth it. And if you ever dreamt of being a one man band or even being in a group, then take it back. Take back what the world, time, or fear might have tried to steal from you. You don't have to wait anymore. Today, you can do it. We have all the tools at our fingertips now: the synthesizer, the guitar, FX racks, consoles. The power of the studio is in a laptop now in 2025. Very powerful stuff. You can live that dream now of making music and sharing it to the world. Please take advantage of it. Because back then, we didn't have YouTube tutorials. We didn't even have Google. We had no internet access at that time. We didn't know where to go. We had to play detective just to figure things out, or be lucky enough to have someone show us. And unfortunately, I didn't have that. Just the two mentors of my brother and my cousin exposing me to the music that I love. But for gear, no. I had to do it all myself. I had to discover everything myself. Those first 7 months of me going to RadioShack every Saturday, they were everything. I felt that that was a pivotal moment because I discovered to play by ear. Now, because of the practice there, I can create my own melodies and do it. So if you're not so young anymore, don't think you missed your shot. You have the gear now. We all have the gear. We have all the technology to help us make your music and take back what they took from you.